What's the toughest way, though, to become a mummy?
Well...
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Here's Jimmy. Reverse cowgirl.
Now, they understand that. You're going to have to explain it to me. What is the reverse
I'm going to need a volunteer from the audience.
If you're having sex with me...
Yeah.
Or Mel.
Yeah.
Say you're having sex with Mel, and you're lying down on your back, and Mel is... I can't use her name in that stuff. She's sitting on top of you, but looking away. Reverse cowgirl.
Oh.
I find they're much happier without looking away from me.
That, however...
Especially if they can see out the window. It's like a budgie.
Wow.
What is this island called?
Newfoundland.
Yeah. I'm going to have to shoot you now. No, it isn't the correct pronunciation.
Newfoundland. Hey, enough violence on this show.
Yeah. Newfoundland is the correct pronunciation, and in 1876 a man was killed during a brawl over the correct pronunciation.
Oh, we were lucky, weren't we? We got right.
Two mill workers, William Aitchison and John Davis, one thought it was Newfoundland and one thought it was Newfoundland. Aitchison threw a punch, Davis drew his gun and killed Aitchison. He got away, Davis, and he spent 37 years on the run. So there's a really...
Davis?
Yes, Davis.
Any relation?
Yeah.
Possibly.
John Davis, dangerous man.
I had a great uncle who emigrated to Canada.
Did he go to Newfoundland?
Newfoundland.
I think he went to Quebec, actually.
And you inherited your shirt from him.
Anyway, just to finish the story, Davis, who killed Aitchison, he ran away for 37 years, and then on his deathbed, 1912, he's in a hospital in Peoria, in Illinois, and he feels so bad about it that he confesses on his deathbed, and then recovered and had to go on the run again.
I think he said, oh, I did that murder in Newfoundland. No, it's Newfoundland!
But actually, both men were right, because at the time, both pronunciations were perfectly acceptable. It's only fairly recently that people have gone a bit...
And what is it now? Without looking?
Newfoundland.
Newfoundland?
Newfoundland.
OK, and presumably if people are watching this in Newfoundland, they're shouting at their television.
Yes, they're probably...
They're all idiots. I have a constant argument with the pronunciation of Canadian places. My other half is Canadian, and everything seems to be pronounced a little bit faster than it should be. So it's Toronto, not Toronto.
Oh, is it?
Toronto.
Toronto.
Toronto. Like, as quick as you possibly can, like it's a crime to say it. Toronto.
I love Toronto. There used to be a bar there called the... Sorry, Toronto. There used to be a bar there called the Betty Ford Clinic. What's not to like? There's some fantastic names in Newfoundland. Conception Bay South is the second largest town.
Conception Bay South is, yeah.
Conception Bay South, maybe there's north.
That's what I call it. She doesn't like it. She thinks it's too formal. Come on, love, let's have a look at Conception Bay South. I bought you dinner. We saw the movie you wanted. Come on.
We're moving on to Conception Bay North, I suppose.
Well, that's a special treat for birthdays.
It's possible
Which way up is she? Hang on.
It's possible that a girl may prefer the Newfoundland town of Dildo or Eastern Tickle, which I like very much.
Do you?
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing.
Not bad for me age.
So, now, who speaks in tones, harangues and declaims in a long, meandering cascade of sounds, syllables, stresses and intonations that might at first seem to be full of sense and meaning, but soon reveal itself to be an empty, vain, hollow and completely meaningless stream of gibberish? You.
You.
Now, this evening's QI Brainteaser is on your little podium beside you, Year 5 QI module, and the theme is letters. Letters. Show the boys and girls that. Throughout the show, you have the time, we hope, to make up some interesting phrases from your letters. Now, oh, hello, what have we got here?
Put Smarties tubes on cats' legs, make them walk like a robot.
That is absolutely wonderful.
Use
All his letters.
that is unbe-lievable. It makes sense.
Yes, say it.
It would make a lot of sense. Robot. Yeah. It's an idea. It's like giving people an idea.
It's fantastic.
Could you this on Countdown last week?
Completely the shame.
What? Yeah, what's that? I can't even imagine how you managed to do that.
Now, what makes up more than 70% of the internet?
It's my personal collection, isn't it?
Of what?
Of gentlemen's special interest literature.
I think we know what you're talking about.
Well, if you're going to be like that...
I've got all kinds of interesting stuff about chavs.
I could tell you something interesting about chavs.
Go on, tell me where the word comes from.
When I first read the word in the tabloids, I hadn't heard it out loud yet, and I thought it was pronounced shav.
Oh, lovely. That's so unshabby, isn't it? A shav.
How posh is that? These shavs, I must meet them, they sound lovely.
What is rather distinguished about a male European earwig? Yes.
The moustache.
It is part of the body, but it's not the moustache.
Is he greying at the temples?
You're right.
Does he wear a monocle?
No, it's neither of those things.
They're very, very well endowed.
Immensely well endowed, in fact, but that's
Best
not... That's
of all
not
the arthropods.
Lots of arthropods
So
are well endowed.
well endowed that it goes all the way up their body and then along their sleeve.
Almost true. It's actually longer than its body, its penis, which seems rather odd.
The penis is long.
Yes, but even more astoundingly, not only does it have this very long member, which is over a centimetre long, its own body is a centimetre. And it's,
Over a centimetre?
But it has two of them. In relation.
Well, that is a bit showy off.
In relation.
Is that on the slacks? I know a joke about thermometers, about nurses and thermometers. It's about a rectal thermometer.
Go on.
Well, it's just a nurse finds a rectal thermometer in her pocket and goes, "Oh, some arsehole's got my pen." I know a thing or two about sphincters.
Tell me about sphincters.
I once had... This may not be an appropriate story.
No, I certainly hope not.
I once had a bladder complaint. This is not STI. It was just I was getting up in the middle
Why are
of the
you
night to
looking
pee.
at me when you say that?
I thought you would understand. If you go to the doctor, sometimes they say, "Well, look, we're going to pop a camera in. We're going to have an explore." And it was in my bladder. There was a bit of an issue in my bladder, so they decided to get a camera and just pop it in my bladder. And obviously, the easiest way to get in is through
the schlong.
Is through the schlong. And I imagined the camera would be like the width of a human hair. It was like a pen.
Oh.
And they fed it in, and it was about 10 years ago I had this.
Right,
and it was about 10 years ago, and it was a lovely nurse that was doing the procedure. And as she sort of fed it, she went, "What do you do for a living?" She was trying to start conversation at this awkward moment in a man's life. She went, "What do you do for a living?" And I went, "I'm a comedian." And she went, "Tell us a joke." And it is a matter of professional pride that I did.
Oh, well done. What do bees do better than dogs? Yes, Jimmy.
Make honey?
That's probably true, I have to say.
Probably true. Yeah. You're giving me probably on making honey. OK, fine, if that's the way you want to play it.
I'll give you that one. But
thank you very much. I'm currently in the lead.
Yeah. Bushes and trees.
Hang on a second. Can we just take a moment to look at
little
that photo
furry
and ask
green
what
wigs.
the hell is going on there? That feels to me like a zoo with an enclosure that's just gone. Stick them in together. There's been some budget cuts. They can work it out. Why not put them in with them?
Yes, you can.
A lot of those guys need water.
Well, it's very near the coast, as you can see.
How is that near the coast?
It's slithering down, all the little water's running down to the sea.
Look at the poor fat fella at the back.